Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Vertex Esports, and welcome to the Racing for Luby 150 in this wonderful Trackvelocity Racing and Vertex Esports combined event, the second of the Trackvelocity Racing organised events here on Vertex Esports. The wonderful culmination of the two fantastic brands working strongly together, and of course we are racing in some fantastic causes, for some fantastic causes tonight. Of course, the Racing for Luby campaign is launched by Kenny Mitchell, who we will see out on track tonight, as you'll see in the video description here on YouTube. Unfortunately, Kenny's sister was diagnosed with cancer in the last 12 months, and he's raising money for cancer research to make sure that they can identify and treat cancer a lot sooner going forward. And he's done a wonderful thing so far, raised a hell of a lot of money for it, so please do try and donate where possible as well. If you do look for hashtag Racing for Luby, LOOBY, you'll be able to see that online. Either way, what a fantastic night we've got ahead of us. Chaz Draycott in the commentary box here at Talladega Superspeedway, and as you can see from that shot there, we have a hell of a lot of these NASCAR Gander outdoor trucks racing around. And, well, it's going to be a hell of an evening. Look at this lot. Literally the rabble out on circuit tonight. We've got plenty of them, plenty of liveries for me to get used to. That is Alex Cedric in the number 9, pushing Mikey Doble in the number 88. Behind him is Aaron Smith. Obviously Vertex Stock Car Cup double champion now, Aaron Smith. He's a real superstar. On their outside there is Thomas Axe in the 111 machine. That's an RSR Esports machine, if I'm not mistaken. That's the 268 of Ivan Bauman's just going past him. Brian Crowell's there in the 48 as well. As ooh, it gets a bit sketchy there. We have got one hell of an evening ahead, though. This is going to be so much fun. So much fun. We have, of course, changed the overlay for tonight. And we do have the Racing for Luby colours. Ben Bennyworth, good to see Ben Bennyworth back out there. In the 96 Monster Energy branded machine. There's going to be so much slipstreaming tonight, so much drafting. And they're going to be flying. We've got Ryan Sharp for not recommended motorsport. Spelt wrong. Now some of these drivers will have team names and bits of information about them that you'll see. That's basically what they've filled in on the SDK driver app, which is the software that brings up the overlay and the graphics. But some of them you will not see that information. Either way, this is going to be phenomenal. I'm so excited about this tonight. We have 150 miles of incredible racing. Sturty says, go on the market, Doble. You know it, mate. Number 88, Mikey Doble. Currently 7th at the minute, but look at this train in front. Now the trucks don't have great visibility out the front from where we are here on the roll bar camera, but listen to that. 300 kilometers an hour they're going to get to down here. Look at that lifting there, Stephen Netherwood. Some of these guys have come over from a championship I've commentated on already this season, which is the My Turn Racing Sunday Night Truck Series. So some of the guys really know these trucks inside out. We've got Steve Cass just ahead of this in the 86 machine. Got Peter Mailer. He's going to be sending it tonight, I'm sure. Oh, what on earth happened there? Mark Cooper got a smack in the rear. Stephen Netherwood. He's going slowly. I don't think Stephen had a chance to see him, but that was a massive hit there. And he's into the pits. Kyron O'Malley out there in the number 3 tonight. We've got Kenny Mitchell. There he is in the Racing for Luby machine. Awesome looking truck, that. Absolutely awesome looking truck. As that is the end of practice. So everyone will just disappear. They have lone qualifying now, as it's called. So they all just go out one at a time. They will be the only truck on track together. As you can see here, if we change between them, they're not all in a pile in the same session. So there you can see, look, Andy Oakley on his way out, one of the first drivers out there. So who's your money on, everybody? JJ Racing. Good to see you, mate. Have a fantastic race for a great cause. Sorry I couldn't join tonight. Exams this weekend, so need to focus on that. Good luck with your exams, JJ. Hope everything goes well, mate. Keep a cool head. I'm sure you will absolutely smash it, my friend. Good luck. Right then. Andy Oakley. It doesn't look like he's going all that fast at the moment, does he? But they are flying. It's a long circuit, is Talladega. Flat out all the way around. It is, of course, a Superspeedway. Here's Karen O'Malley. How good does that Silverado look? It's such a great-looking truck. And across the line he goes to start his lap. I wonder if the car number will show us where everybody is. No, it doesn't, because it's just him at the moment. I wondered if it would show us all of them. So who is the closest to completing a lap then? At the moment, it looks like it's Mark Murphy. He's about to come across the line. I think Mark Redford might beat him to it, actually. But the times are going to go up on the board. Very shortly, anyway. They should do. Justin Nair, I think, will be the first one, actually. Yeah, there's going to be John Bawalder Jr. as well, putting times in. Justin Nair goes fastest at 1:03.3. The only time on the board so far. Thomas Axe is close to cutting the timing beam, you could say. Oakley goes fastest. Axe goes second, 57.023. Sorry, that green is very difficult to read, isn't it? O'Malley goes second, only a tenth of a second off the top spot. Now Cooper goes into third place. Oakley still top. Ishmael second. Bennyworth goes fifth. Burke seventh. Vega goes into ninth. Jason Glenn goes 10th. Mark Redford's just crossed the line. Where will Mark go? He won the first round of the championship in the My Turn Racing Sunday Night Truck Series. He's only 8 thousandths off Oakley at the moment. 18 thousandths is off. Murphy is off the top spot. Look at that. This is how close this sort of racing is. There's a bit of a split in the middle of the field. Ben Bennyworth is just under 0.2 of a second off the top spot. Then Cedric is 0.6 down. So it seems like some of them doing a mega job and others a little bit off the pace at the moment. Here's Mark Cooper across the line. Axe goes fourth. O'Malley 7th with a little improvement there. Not even 1/10 of a second separating them. And Adrian Burks goes top. Fantastic stuff from Adrian. And a very supportive livery there with the Racing for Luby colours. Great stuff. Netherwood goes 4th. Glenn is now 9th. Kenny Mitchell himself goes 17th. 0.4 off, but look how close that is as Doble goes second. 1,000th of a second off. There's 4 thousandths separating the top 3. 16 thousandths separating the top 6. That's unbelievable. So fast indeed. So close. Doble literally 1,000th of a second off. You could not make that up. Where is Cedric? Cedric has improved and is 46 thousandths off in the 10, but some of them are actually stopping and going in now. Justin Nair's stopped. Mark Cooper's stopped. Kenny Mitchell, bottom of the pile at the moment is Kenny, but Bowalder, Smith, Sharp, Cass and Mailer, none of them have set times yet, so they're going to be hoping to at least get something on the board. Here is Kenny Mitchell across the line in the number 4. Improved up to 7th. 16 thousandths identical times to Alexander Vega. Or Veget, I should say. But look at that. 46 thousandths covering the top 11. 1/10 of a second covering the top 16. That is absolutely outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Netherwood only needs to gain 15 thousandths of a second, but the qualifying session is over for him. And everyone else, obviously. But that gives us our grid for tonight's race. Adrian Burks, pole position, ahead of Mikey Doble, Andy Oakley and Mark Redford. Then it's Stephen Netherwood and Alexander Vega on the row 3, with Kenny Mitchell and Mark Murphy on row 4. Thomas Axe is 9th ahead of Finn Robinson, with Alex Cedric and Yuri Ishmael on row 6. Then it's Jason Glenn and Brian Crowles, the two teammates, with Kyron O'Malley 15th ahead of Ben Bennyworth and 16th. Following them is Ivan Bowmans and Justin Nyer, with Mark Cooper and Ryan Sharp 19th and 20th. Following them is Peter Mailer and Steve J. Cass, with John Buwalda Jr. and Aaron Smith, reigning champion of the Vertex Stock Car Cup, not actually putting in a time. So we have our grid, we have our crowd, we have our YouTube chat, we have our viewers. Please do remember, guys, please like and subscribe. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to Vertex Esports. We have a lot of events and a wonderful Mixed Bag World Cup coming up for you later this year. Starting in the middle of April, we'll go from everything from GT3 racing to rallycross to NASCAR Cup cars, and then to the truck racing on dirt as well. It is honestly going to be a phenomenal year for the Vertex Esports brand, and of course Trackvelocity Racing as well, putting on a plethora of events throughout the season. And I will be broadcasting and commentating all of them, which I'm very much looking forward to, and I hope you are as well. I hope that doesn't put a downer on it. We're just waiting for Mark Cooper to take to the grid. He's just going to turn up next to the 79 there of Ryan Sharp, but he's not quite there yet. Little blink in and out there by Kyron O'Malley. Mark's not got long to get to the grid here, you know, in the 888 machine. Not quite sure what's going on, and he is going to miss the start, unfortunately. But Adrian Burks in the 72 is going to lead them away eventually when the pace car gets going. There we go, the timing screen does its thing. They all swap around. And here we go. So this fantastic field of trucks gets away. You've got to love Mark Redford's livery. The Nest in the Woods truck looks absolutely wonderful. Great to have two trucks with the Racing for Luby branding on the front, though. Front of the grid. In that colour scheme, just running different colours. Mikey Doble and Adrian Burks. That's fantastic to see, isn't it? Great liveries. And you can see the similarities, but just the different colours. I really like that. Really am a big fan of that. So hats off to the boys. Really doing a smashing job there. Now Mark Cooper is unfortunately still sat in the pits. He's going to have to wait to the start of the race. There's John Buwalda Jr. for Jack Dowell Motorsports. Wonder if he's interested in woodwork. Look at this great grid though. Now please do bear with me with recognising liveries this evening. I will be going off car numbers. Obviously a lot of these liveries I've not seen before. This is a one-off event, so I don't get a chance to learn them all like we do in a series. I had a good look in practice and tried to get as much as I could. Either way, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and of course, if you are interested in anything I do, you can head to chazdraycott.com. I'm going to be the 2021 Renault Sport Clio Cup Europe television commentator this year. It's been an amazing journey to get to where I am in less than 3 years. But either way, this is my roots. This is what I love doing. And Alex and Brian and everybody at Vertex and Trackvelocity Racing have been phenomenal in supporting that. So having events like this is still incredibly important, and I love it, and they love it. It's all good fun. However, the Racing for Luby 150 is about to get underway at Talladega. Adrian Burks is going to plant his foot to the floor any second now. The safety car is in, or the pace car as you'd call it, and we are waiting. It's a long wait. We're away at Talladega. Listen to the revs rise. Fantastic noise. And everybody is going to be flat out now for a very, very long time. Look at this. 2 by 2. I was watching the AI race around here as a bit of a test, just to make sure that I had the cameras and everything set up, and they were going 4 wide on the back straight. I don't know if any of these lot are going to be that bunkers tonight, but we're going to keep our eyes on the front. Mikey Doble has gone to said front, and he's now come down in front of Adrian Burks. Mark Redford's going to go up on the high side in the 31, the white and green machine. The number 14 following there is Alexander Weigert. Or Alexander Weigert. I'm not sure if it's Weigert or Weigert. I'm sorry, mate. Watch out for Andy Oakley in the teal and yellow machine on the inside. He's got Stephen Netherwood right behind him as they go for the line again. Just listen to that fantastic sound from these V8s. Awesome. Look at it. Redford's still up front then. Weigert looking around behind him to try and see a gap. There's a little bit of wiggling, a little bit of movement. He needs to be careful about any bump drafting. Weigert and Redford both moving around a lot. Doble has actually got a good run. We've got 2 Monster Energy branded trucks on the outside there. I think Yuri Ishmael's one of them. Oh, and Veigert's around. Weigert already around. Is it going to bring out the yellow? He carries on. No, he stayed green. He was moving around a hell of a lot. What on earth? A little bit after that, wasn't it? So we'll watch. He's in the middle. Oh, he just comes down in front of the 53. He's very lucky not to take anyone else. Just a little lack of spatial awareness there by Weigert. It's a real shame because he didn't get a yellow for that, so he's lost out massively for his troubles. He's 9 seconds off the back of the field. But look at this. There's even a gap here after Aaron Smith as well. Steve Cass is the next truck behind him, actually just in front. Peter Mailer has then got a long, long way back to him. Ivan Bauman's did the fastest lap of the race. But that was a real shame, that, by Weigert. You've just got to be so, so careful with the overlap. Look at the 28 machine going well up there. Finn Robinson. And the Finn Robinson Motorsport machine. Big Twitch logo on the front. Wonder if he's streaming tonight. Burks and Doble working together on that bottom line to try and push forward. Kenny Mitchell's on the high line behind Andy Oakley. That's Mark Murphy in the 58, just looking at what he can do for his fellow first name enthusiast, Mark Redford. We'll go on board, so you can see exactly what it looks like from in Mark's car, or truck. And there's the rabble. You'll see now if they're not at the front of the queue, they will not push the truck in front because it can cause such a snake effect, as we saw at Daytona in the Daytona 500 this year. It really does unsettle them. Mark's going a little bit wide through there, maybe just looking around the outside of Redford, but look at Doble and Burks down the inside to the front of the pack. Oh, that was a little bit scary there, just behind. That was Bauman's just going in front of Ryan Sharp, I think. On the inside line in the 79, Thomas Axe there on the outside in the RSR Esports by G Performance truck. I've commentated on a number of their drivers in different disciplines, anything from TCR cars to GT racing and even Formula 3 last night. Their driver Caitlin Haight racing in the Sim Racers World Formula 3 series. But if we go to good old Blimpy Boy and look at the front of this pack, look at them all streaming down there. Cedric has managed to get up into second place. He's given Doble a really good push in that number 9 Vertex Esports truck. Thing looks very evil, doesn't it? It's a menacing looking truck. Kyron O'Malley running a similar, just solid black livery. Biggest mover in the field is actually the truck behind Alex at the moment. Brian Crowles, he's gained 11 spots. Ben Benioff actually has gained 12 in that Monster Energy branded machine. Still early days yet. We've got 3 wide behind them. Mark Murphy on the outside of that. Look at that. This is what you've got to love about Talladega. 3 wide. You can definitely do it round here. But now, what are those higher lines going to do? We're actually going to get single file on that bottom line, I think, because look at the run that Mark Murphy's lost out on there. He has lost so many positions. He's really struggling there as Redford. Kenny Mitchell goes past him now. He suddenly finds himself in 13th place after being higher up before. Ryan Sharp there getting a little bit squirrely. You'll have to excuse me for 2 seconds while I just change something. You will see the sim thing come up. If you've ever wondered how to hide car numbers, do that. So everyone will go white for a minute. It's just in case they've got a custom livery that hides the number. I need to be able to see that because some of them do have custom numbers. So you can bear with it a minute. And you'll see some of them are different to how they looked before. There's Trading Paints updates. This is Mikey Doble's livery, but it will come back differently in a moment. You've got to give it time. There you go. See? Now, the grid looks slightly different. Great looking stuff, though. Mikey flying at the moment. Alex Sedgwick just slowly pushing. Stephen Netherwood, that is, in the 52 on the outside, really pushing hard now. Or getting pushed, I should say, by Finn Robinson. Finn is on a charge. Not quite got the run around there, but watch when they get onto the back straight. That high line is going to get some real poke. They just need to be so careful about moving around on the tail of one another. You've got to love the iRacing liveries on Ben Bennyworth's car and on Brian Crowell's car. They look great, don't they? Still some liveries updating there, apologies. I think Ivan Bauman's has got to update his as well. That'll change in a minute. Ah, there you go. Brian Crowell's livery is popped on now. So too is Ben Bennyworth's. There we go. Told you. It's just an option that I don't run on some leagues that I commentate on, so I don't always get to see him again. We'll go on board with Kenny Mitchell, the man himself. Turn 4 Motorsports. Truck in front of him is Mark Murphy. That's Ivan Bauman's on the left with Sabine Schmitz on the rear. And on the side of the truck as well. Lovely little tribute. Listen to that. This is how much they're lifting off. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Well, much like they did for a lot of the Vertex Stock Car Cup season, it's Mikey Doble and Alex Sedgwick at the front of the field. Doing a stunning job so far. Over 30 viewers at the minute, guys. Only 6 likes, so let's get it up to 10, shall we? We'd much appreciate that here. And don't forget as well, if you do want to donate to cancer research for the great cause as well, Racing for Luby, which this event is all about, for the wonderful Kenny Mitchell and his fantastic venture here. Actually, that's probably not the right word, is it, venture? You know, the great cause. Then please do search for Racing for Luby, as you see in the top right of the screen. You'll be able to donate there on the Just Giving page. Now Alex is really pushing Doble here, but Netherwood is doing a cracking job up top. Him and Finn Robinson working really well together, nice and smooth to make that high line work. Just love the sound of it. We dare look back from... This is what you can see from Mikey Doble. Oh, there you go. You can see if Alex is running a different restrictor or not. Yeah, indeed. The livery on Kenny's car and on Adrian's and on Kenny's car himself, they look great. Love to have those little differences between the three of them. Obviously, Mikey's blue at the front, white at the back. Adrian's is white at the front, red at the back. And then Kenny's is red at the front, white at the back. They look great, but the same shape, same design all round. Really, really good stuff. Aaron Smith, you can see there, not like it stands out at all. In the number 70, reigning reigning Vertex Stock Car Cup champion. 2-time champion as well now in the Xfinity machinery. Great supporter of Vertex and of Trackvelocity Racing in all of our events. Just off the back of them there is Steve Cass in this great looking number 86 machine. Oh, we've got a big one in front. That caught me off guard. Ivan Bauman's has got through it. Mark Murphy has not. We have our first yellow of the night. Mark Murphy. I was just trying to look at the times just to see how those guys had caught up. Something happened to Mark Murphy. He's got Adrian Burks and Ben Bennyworth down there. I don't think he knows that Ben's there. Oh, there were 3 wide. Mark gets clipped by someone else and another. I think that was actually Steve Cass that clipped him. Mark just, I don't think he knew that it was 3 wide there. I'm not sure what the spotter was doing, but you can see he comes down thinking it's still 2 wide, and Adrian Burks just, he can't really go anywhere. Makes a bit of contact. I think there was the second touch with Ivan Bauman's, and it was indeed Steve Cass that made the final hit. That's a real shame, that is, for Mark. He still cracks on. Stephen Netherwood, though, leads this race. So we'll be very pleased with that. Black flag for Alt F4 there, says MC Carly. Not sure what you mean, buddy. Either way, they did well, to be fair. We've had our first yellow of the night. And it's come 12 laps into the race. Top 10 at the moment, Stephen Netherwood, Mikey Doble, Finn Robinson, Alex Sedgwick 4th, Andy Oakley 5th, then it's Brian Crowles, Mark Redford, Kenny Mitchell, Ben Bennyworth and Adrian Burks. Rounds out your 10. Peter Mailer has gained 10 spots to be where he is. Brian Crowles has gained 8 from 14th to be 6th. 8 positions gained for Aaron Smith as well to get up to 16th position. So a strong run for Aaron, but not at the sharp end, as he'd, I'm sure, like to be. Mark Murphy's had a fast repair, which is always good to see. And we've got trucks on pit lane. Here we go then. Oh, that was Redford. Redford had a bit of a moment there, didn't he? Mark Redford had a proper moment. Let's have a look. I said he left pit lane for a second there. Getting it slowed down. Oh, he's going to hit the back of Crowles. Has to get on the grass. Flipping heck. Very close stuff. Now, what's the situation like with people leaving? Doble has got to the top. Netherwood second. Then it's Sedgwick, Oakley, Robinson, Redford. Mitchell has got out ahead of Burks. Adrian Burks having a very long stop. Adrian Burks finally gets going. Down in 14th spot. Wow. But Doble inherits the lead. Netherwood's having a great run so far, though. Stephen was rapid in the My Turn Racing Sunday Night Truck Series that I've been commentating on. And he's doing just as well here. Sedgwick just behind, of course. Real racing driver Alex Sedgwick. He does compete in the real world. He's going to be doing ARCA this year. The NASCAR ARCA events. He did an end-of-season race last year at Phoenix in one of the ARCA cars there and had a wonderful time of it. And he actually did a test at Daytona earlier in this year as well. It was great to speak to Alex after that. He said that, you know, the banking is that steep and it's that curved that when you are flat out and you've got the forces pushing down on you, when you're going around the corner, you can't see the sky. You can just see road in front of you as it curves away, and you can't see the exit of the corner. It's just crazy. But, I mean, you do often see the seating positions in NASCAR machinery, and they're very close to the wheel, very upright. But that's just, honestly, so they can potentially see a bit more and be a bit comfier, because it's very, very strenuous turning left for that long, for as long as they do. Here's Peter Mailer. He's gained the most places in the race now after the pit stop window. 12 spots up to 9th. So a strong race so far. Kyron O'Malley back in the pits, and so too is Aaron Smith and Brian Crowles. Wondering whether some of them just topping up with fuel again. We've seen this a few times in the different series that we've had on the channel. Is people just literally getting a splash and dash, or potentially serving a stop-go? Kyron O'Malley's actually going for tyres. It's an interesting one. As Aaron Smith gets going, so too does Brian Crowles, and so too does Kyron. But Kyron takes tyres there. That's a 17-second stop. Very intriguing. The lights are out on the pace car, so that means that this time round we will get back underway. We'll be racing again. Who's your money on then, guys? Who do you reckon? Anyone that you fancy in particular for this race? Certainly hard to call at this point, but there have been some very consistent chargers up there. But it's very easy to misjudge whether a line is having a good run or not and drop back, as we saw with Mark Redford. Mark is down in 18th position now. But this is Mikey Doble in the number 88. Leading the pack. The 53 is the dark horse. Yeah, to be fair, I said early on, you know, watch out for Andy Oakley. He's really, really quick. I love that Intercity 125 livery. That looks great, doesn't it? For anyone that doesn't know, that's a railway brand over here, basically. Absolutely awesome. I think that's actually painted in the livery of one of the trains as well, which has this very garish teal, yellow and white on it. But I agree. He is definitely a dark horse in this one. But Mikey Doble is about to get us underway and put us onto lap 16 here in the Racing for Luby 150 at Talladega. 57 laps, 150 miles, and we are just about... Look at Sedgwick pushing there. We're back underway. Doble gets a mega start. Look at that. Finn Robinson goes with them, but Stephen Netherwood was caught sleeping there. Caught napping, I think is the correct phrase, Chaz, but either way. Here's the not recommended motorsport machine of Ryan Sharp, number 79. Now tucked in behind Kenny Mitchell. Netherwood really has dropped there. Look, he's stuck on the outside line as well, so all these guys are slipstreaming past him. He needs to try and get some assistance from somebody on that high line, but he's not going to get it anytime soon. He needs to get down to the low line where possible, but he's just absolutely flying backwards here. It's like he's in reverse. Just behind, it's 2x2x2. That's the recovering Alexander Vega. After that spin earlier, he's having a really good rise back up the order into 12th position so far. Look at Netherwood. He's lost out so much. That's Ben Bennyworth instead, just ahead of Vega there. Now they're trying to make this high line work. Burks has gone up there. He's going to have to go the really long way round Jason Glenn in that beautiful 55 machine. Look at that by Bennyworth. He's really made that work. So too is Vega. The two of them really flying around there. But now Bennyworth is helping Glenn by coming down a bit. He's trying to give slipstream to both of them. 3 wide. Is that going to work? And look, just in front, Adrian Burks going into the middle. He's thinking, right, this is a good chance to make this line work here. But Vega on the outside. He's got Bennyworth to his right. He's got Netherwood to his left, and that looks like the favoured line to me. And he drops down. Oh, there's contact! There is contact with Alexander Vega, and he's in again. Oh, he's been tipped over and over and over and over. Aaron Smith caught up in that. Ivan Bowman's, Steve Cass, John Bewelder Jr. was the one that he bounced on top of. And I hate to assume, but we saw Alex turn down on a truck earlier. That's just as he stops. Let's have a look what happens here. I'm just going to try and find it for you. So this is down the back straight. I really hope for Alex's sake he's not done this again and not turned down, because you can see Boalda Jr. is on the middle line there. He has. I'm sorry, Alex, but oh, it's that second hit there, and then he bounces off the wall, then bounces off the top of the 7, Yuri Ishmael. But I'm afraid for the second time tonight, Alex has either left his spot at home, or I was going to say he's not checking his mirrors, but I don't think these things have mirrors, do they? They do have tiny, stubby little mirrors, but it's those little tiny differences that can make or break a race, I'm afraid. And in this case, Alex is, especially after me saying how well he was doing to come back up, has unfortunately, I think, ended his own there. I'm not sure whether he's going to recover from that. But they're back in the pits, or are they? Oh, Sedgwick nearly gets dummied by Mikey Doble, stays out. Now, is that worth it? He's gained 1 place from that, as Alex Sedgwick. Obviously, Doble's going to drop down behind quite a lot of these guys that are staying out. Interesting. We've got Thomas Axe, Jason Glenn, Justin Nyer, Stephen Netherwood, Ben Bennyworth, Brian Krause, Yuri Ishmael, and Ivan Bowmans all staying out here in this big train. But we have a big party in the pit lane, and here they go. Mikey Doble's already out. Behind him, Andy Oakley, Ryan Sharp, Kenny Mitchell, Mark Redford. There's Adrian Burke's leaving, Kyron O'Malley. I look like Peter Mailer there just going out as well. So Doble comes out in 10th. Now he's the highest place of those that have pitted on that lap. But it was only a few laps earlier. So there's not much in it, to be fair. And it looks like Mark Cooper, by the way, his earlier departure was an internet-related issue, I'm afraid. But we sort of treat those as mechanical failures, as you would get in the real world. Obviously, the sim does not really simulate mechanical issues or any sort of random failures like tyres going down. It does under certain circumstances. You know, if you've hit something and damaged the engine, then over time it will start to fail. But yeah, we don't get random suspension breakages or brake failures, things like that. That is all down to routers and PCs and hardware. Lights are still on the pace car, so we have another lap. Alexander's actually coming back out the pits. He's had his fast repair, so he's back on track. And up into second place, Thomas Axe. He's going to be very, very pleased with that. Started in 9th place. Justin Nyer, who won at Daytona in the Vertex Stock Car Cup this season, is up into 4th position from 18th on the grid. But that's what I love about these sorts of races. You know, you get so many position changes. I've watched NASCAR broadcasts of people starting 42nd and thought, oh, it'd be great if that guy wins, and then they went and won it. It's great when something just comes to them in a race like this. It's so much fun to watch. Justin Nyer is running a livery similar to the one that Brian Crowell ran in Season 2 and Season 3 of the Vertex Stock Car Cup. Ben Bennyworth, one of the 2 Monster Energy branded trucks there. The 96 on the outside, and then the number 7 of Yuri Ishmael just behind him. Ivan Bowman's just below there in one of the Trackvelocity Racing and Vertex Esports branded machines with, of course, tribute to Sabine Schmitz all over the truck. Ryan Sharp is having a decent race so far. He's gained 8 places, or 7 I think, when he actually ends up 13th here. 7 places from where he started, 20th on the grid. It's quite a fast delivery of positions. Alex Sedgwick actually started 11th. You know, he didn't have the smoothest of qualifying sessions, but he's up there. I believe that's the livery that he ran. We did a special event on Vertex where we had the Eldora Challenge, and these trucks went around a dirt track, and we had an entire night of heat races and consolation and a feature. It was myself and Chris Dawes commentating on that, and it was absolutely fantastic. And Alex was running that livery then, and that was some of the most fun. Now I wanted to point out, look at the bunch of Chevrolets that we've got outside the top 10. We've got an absolute pile of Toyotas just above that as well, but we also have a hell of a lot of Fords inside the top 10. We've got actually the second and third row, get it right Chaz, are all Fords. Then we've got Brian Krause alongside Yuri Ishmael on the 4th row. And then it's a bunch of Toyotas and a mix of Chevrolets, and then Cass further back in the sole Ford. But here we go then. What can Sedgwick do? What can Axe do? You could say he's going to put the hammer down, but that wouldn't be too apt, would it? Let's see how long they wait. It seems like you've got to wait quite close to the line here to get a restart underway. They're all piling in behind Alex. He knows what he's doing. And puts his foot down now. Axe gets a really, really good jump. Really good reactions. Goes with him. And the revs start to build again. Look at Bennyworth already looking to the outside there of Justin Nair. Certainly trying hard already. Redford dancing around behind Kenny Mitchell. Aaron Smith was a little bit further back, not making any progress yet. He's 21st at the moment. You could just see the bright yellow flash that is Aaron Smith's truck further down the order now. Watch the 111 because he's going to get a good shove down the back straight next time round from the 77 should they not filter into the middle. But this is great stuff. I've never commentated on a race at Talladega. I've commentated on a number of races in these trucks, but this combination is awesome. Really, really good racing and a great bunch of guys as well to have on the grid. A lot of them have raced against each other before, so they all know exactly how they behave, but having some new names on the grid is never dull. Look at that. That was not dull from Mikey Doble right in front of Andy Oakley. Makes the decision, moves to the low line in very dramatic fashion. And now he's going to try to chase forward, but I told you, watch Thomas Axe, and he has get that push from Justin Nair, who's side by side with his teammate Jason Glenn. But the 111 wants P1 at the moment, as all Bennyworth and Ishmael have a bit of a check-up on the outside. Doble is right behind Ishmael now. Now you can see the difference in when you've done a spec matte properly on Yuri Ishmael's car. It's got a bit of sheen to it, you know, it's a realistic matte, whereas Ben Bennyworth's unfortunately looks like it's a really, really dark chalkboard. As oh, look at that, in the middle there. That's Finn Robinson, 3 wide. He's got Sharp on his outside. Mitchell on his inside. Sharp has been hung out to dry there. Look at that. He's now dropping positions. I wouldn't recommend that. Aaron Smith now down his inside. Still side by side at the front though. This is tense racing, isn't it, everyone? Really tense stuff. We're nearly at 10 likes on the video as well, guys. So if you could please push us over that number, we would be very grateful. Don't forget to subscribe while you're here as well. We'll try and hit 100 subscribers before we get to the Mixed Bag World Cup in a few weeks' time. Spread the word. There's going to be plenty of events on here. Look at the wiggling around. There's so much movement from these trucks. It's not all intentional. They just do move around quite a lot when you're trying to stick to one another. Kenny Mitchell swapping lines there to go around Aaron Smith. He's chasing Adrian Burks, his effective teammate. Has Ishmael been hung out to try there? Whoa. Plenty of movement. They've got to be so careful about moving back into line just in case they chop the nose off the truck behind. But here we go again. Thomas Axe getting a massive push from Justin Nair. Is it going to be enough at any point to get around Cedric? I do not think it is. Then again, I'm a commentator. I'm often wrong. Bennyworth is actually sort of hanging a little bit higher on that high line. Maybe just dropping down a little bit to gain more speed, but it's not really helping him so far. I'm going to say this while touching wood. Very clean stuff in the last couple of laps. We've just got to the, or nearly the halfway point, sorry. My maths is awful, so please do forgive me. Finn Robinson is 3 wide again here with Adrian Burks and Andy Oakley down the inside. We're keeping our eye on that 53 on the bottom. Finn slots into space between Burks and Mitchell with Aaron Smith on his inside. Deja vu. This time they've got nowhere near the run. Jason Glenn's given Alex a fantastic push on that bottom line. It's all about patience and opportunity. Finn Robinson 3 wide again with Adrian Burks. They're really pushing the envelope here. Need to be very careful. Very careful. Now Adrian Burks slots in front of Kenny Mitchell. Now look at that. Doble looking to the middle between Ishmael and Netherwood. Jack Dowell Motorsports is in the building. Good to see you. Unfortunately, your man John Bowalder Jr. not having the best of races before he got caught up in an incident It was not his fault. And look at this now, Axe to the front. You could say he's cut through the pack. Robinson doing pretty well. Finn Robinson Motorsport in 10th place at the moment. But now Axe is getting the push from Alex. Got the 2 Monster Energy trucks up high. Biggest mover so far is actually Justin Nyer in 5th place. He's gained 13 spots, but at the front of this train it's not working for him. It really isn't. That bottom line has had a real surge forward. It's Andy Oakley's birthday tomorrow. Well, he can wake up happy if he wins this one. I really do hope it goes well for him. He is a dark horse. He's one of my picks for the race win tonight, is Andy Oakley. Just there in the 53 in the middle with the fantastic Intercity Rail livery on the thing. I absolutely love that. Now Sedgwick has decided to go to the high line. He wants a push. Push me, Justin, he says. Justin moves down. Jason Glenn's been tapped, and there's a big one. Oh, it's going to take a lot of them out. Sedgwick has been put in the wall. That is a humongous, humongous accident. My, oh my. On initial thought, that looked like Justin Nyer's problem. Let me try and find what happened there, because that was a big, big mess. Yeah, Justin Nyer was just like a cannonball to the left. Hats off to the guys that slowed down and made it through. Adrian Burks had an absolute dream. Oh, was that Steve Cass? I think it was Steve Cass that got really, really unlucky here. Watch this. So you'll see, there's the contact. They all start moving around there. Steve slows it down. Gets away with it, and then, oh, he gets a tap from the left, and then another hit. And he ends up in it. Let's have a look from Justin Nyer. I'm intrigued as to what caused this. So, does he think there's no truck down low? Oh, no. Oh, he gets on the brakes and loses the back end. The back end breaks away, and then you've got your usual. But look who got through it. Oh, no, it wasn't Stephen Netherwood. Sorry. Or was it? No, it was Stephen Netherwood got through all of that. We'll go and have a look from Stephen's point of view. Apologies, everyone. I think we just lost pictures there for a second. Sorry, guys. I think we lost pictures for a second there. There was just an issue with the server going back to get the replay. But yeah, Justin hit the brakes, lost the back end. Netherwood. Oh my goodness me. Adrian Burks made it through as well. But wow. Look at that from Stephen Netherwood. Watch this. The C's parted. He gets a tap. What a save by Stephen Netherwood. That's great to hear, though, Ian. Thank you very much, mate. Really glad that you're enjoying the show, and it's good that we're doing sim racing. A world of good. Now let's go on a chopper cam. Let's still pick this apart here. So look at the number 77, the blue truck on the right-hand side. Gets behind Alex, and I think he touches the brakes, and it's contact with Bennyworth that tips him left. He hits Jason Glenn, and then tips Axe into Sedgwick. Then Bennyworth gets caught up in it. So Doble gets hit by Bowmans. Bennyworth hits Ishmael. Oakley goes into Bennyworth. Smith goes into the 28, which is Finn Robinson. Redford goes into them. Adrian Burks makes it through. Kenny Mitchell makes it through. But that was a large, large mess, I'm afraid. And that just shows you how tiny the contact needs to be. I do apologise for the issue with the overlay and everything there. Just trying to go back and get the replay. It just seemed like it caused a bit of a problem stream-wise. So, my bad. Thank you for getting us over the 10 likes, by the way, guys. Much appreciated here. We do love this sort of stuff. Vertex Esports, Trackvelocity Racing, and of course Racing for Luby. This is the Racing for Luby 150. Make sure you do go to Just Giving and look for Racing for Luby as you see it in the top right of your screen. Please do donate. It's a fantastic cause for the wonderful Kenny Mitchell, whose sister was so unfortunately diagnosed with cancer in the last 12 months. I believe it was the last 12 months, so apologies if that's wrong, Kenny. But he's doing a great thing, and he's running, obviously, the name, the brand, and he's, of course, trying to raise money for charity, so cancer can be identified and treated sooner, and obviously survival rates can be raised, and it's just a wonderful thing that Kenny's doing, and great for the guys to get on board. You know, we've got the likes of Mikey Doble running a similar livery, Adrian Burks as well, all in support of Kenny and his fantastic cause. I've even changed all the overlay colours to match the branding tonight as well. It really is fantastic, so please do check that out as well. And of course, if you do like what I'm doing this evening, I'm solo broadcasting this using the fantastic SDK gaming software. My name is Chaz Draycott, and I no longer just call myself an esports commentator. I'm a professional motorsport commentator now, which is a lifelong dream. Lifelong dream. Steve Cass has actually got out of that all right, you know. He's third at the moment. John Bowalder Jr., considering that he was involved in that humongous accident earlier, has done a smashing job. Very, very smashing job. I will also, by the way, just in case you do want the Cancer Research UK giving page, I'll pop it in the chat. There you go. We'll also get you the Vertex Esports website as well. Just in case, if you want to see the horrendous face behind the microphone that you hear tonight, there is my website as well. But the lights are out on the pace car here at Talladega. Jason Glenn leading the way. We saw Jason leading a lot of the race in the Vertex Stock Car Cup at Road America. He was on probably the most shattered tyres I've ever seen in my life, but he managed to make it work at least and strung out a very long stint around there. Thank you very much, JJ. Much appreciated, mate. Good to see you. But yeah, I have to hold my northern humour back on the streams to remain professional. Either way, we have 27 laps of this race left to go. We're just over the halfway point here. Let's see what Jason Glenn and John Bowalder Jr. can do on this restart then. Look out for Cass and, of course, Bennyworth just behind. Here we go. Bowalder goes with Jason. He's done a fantastic job there, actually, as Bowalder. The 46 goes to the front. Bennyworth's going to get a run with Mark Murphy pushing him. Great to see Mark back up there, actually. He was the man involved in that big incident at Turn 1, the first yellow flag of the night. We've got 46, 86, 96 all near the front. And look at Sedgwick around the outside in the background, making it 3 wide. He's storming down that outside line. He's trying to take some people with him. Squeezing up around the outside of Brian Crowles. Fun fact, if you didn't know, Brian was actually the man on the spanners for Alex in the real-life Euro NASCAR series. So he's literally racing his mechanic. They get on very, very well. Brian, of course, heads the Trackvelocity Racing operation. Alex heads the Vertex Esports operation, so the two of them coming together to make this great culmination. Look at them all, they're not even 3 wide there, that's just a mess. But Alex is making that high line work, man. He's got some pace here. 3 wide, round the outside then, the number 28, Finn Robinson. He's got Ivan Bauman's for company up there. The 52 of Stephen Netherwood at the front with Mark Murphy down his inside. But look at that. It's amazing to see Mark Murphy that high up the order. After he was pulverised into the wall before. Now Brian Crowles is looking down the inside of Netherwood, trying to make something of it. We need to look at Andy Oakley. He's in the middle there. Number 53. Now look at that. Brian has found a gap down the inside of Netherwood in the 48. They're nearly 4 wide as Sedgwick goes to the high line again. That is close, boys. That's Netherwood and the 28 And Finn Robinson, there's a tap here and a tap there, bit of door banging. They're 4 wide across the line. Cedric needs to get out of that or he's going to get caught up in a big incident. Netherwood needs to back out of that, I think. Robinson goes to the low line. We get away with it. Or do we? Naya in the middle. Bauman's on the outside. Cass in the middle. Cedric just at the front of them. Thank you very much for the kind words, Cameron. Much appreciated, my friend. I love what I do. This is a hell of a lot of fun to cover as well. But look at this. Mark Murphy out front smashing stuff at the moment. Ben Bennyworth right behind him. So many Fords. It's all Fords and Chevrolets until Oakley in the Toyota in 11th. So Toyota Talladega, no thank you. As Brian Crowles now heads to the front with his good mate Alex Cedric pushing him. Some people would shout fix. Now they're both going to try and get down the low line in front of Mark here. Look, there they go, moving down together. Very strategic stuff. Stephen Netherwood stays on that higher line, or does he? He comes down as well. Murphy hits the apron, a little bit out of shape. Justin Naya is close to making contact. Oh, this keeps me on my toes, doesn't it? Look at all this now. Quite a long line of them down that bottom line, but look at that. Would you believe it? Thomas Axe leading it, although Naya goes up high in the 77. It's very tense indeed here. John Bowalder in the 46 there, the Miller machine. Number 46 has gained 16 places. Now look at Oakley on the very left of your shot there. Round the outside he goes. Oh, Jason Glenn's had to back off it a bit. Adrian Burks and Finn Robinson are very close together. Adrian just slots in there as he goes round him. Whoa, that was squeaky bum time at the back there. That was Ivan Bauman's around Steve Cass. Jack Dahl Motorsports, $70. Hats off, mate. Thank you very much. Kenny will be over the moon with that, mate. Thank you. That really does mean a lot, buddy. And that's the thing, everybody. Don't forget, tonight's race is all for a good cause. These guys are making it so entertaining as well. I really do hope you're enjoying the show. I thoroughly am, honestly. None of this is faked or forced. I'm loving this. Absolutely loving this. Whoa, big movement there in the background. Was that Ivan Bauman's again? It was. Chucking it around these lines. He's got Kenny Mitchell and Mark Redford down his inside now. Mikey Doble in there as well. We've got all the Racing for Luby trucks together. Near the middle, Jason Glenn, who was at the front, don't forget, earlier on. Getting a lot of pressure from Mark Redford. Just trying to stick his nose up the inside. Nothing doing there. Thomas Axe is trying to make that high line work on the outside of Brian Crowles. Justin Naya up to second. Brian's going to give Alex a shove. There's movement. Whoa, there's contact. Is that Bennyworth? Bennyworth's on the apron. He gets a hit from Bowalder. Jason Glenn's gone on the apron as well. Oh, how's he saved that? We've got a yellow. Got a yellow for that. No one went around, did they? Wow, we have said before that iRacing gives us sensitive yellows. That was the most sensitive of yellows. Wow. I'm bewildered. Truly bewildered by that. So let's have a look where it all started to go a little bit wrong on the back straight then. So we'll go to a quarter speed in just a moment. So if you see the blue truck in third place on the left-hand side, Brian Crowles gets right up to the back of Alex Sedgwick in the black number 9. He starts to go down the line a little bit. Netherwood's giving him a push, and look, there's a bit of a slide there. So Brian goes up, Netherwood slows down, Murphy slows down, Bennyworth gets into him, and then Bowalder gets into the back of him. Now watch Jason Glenn in the dark blue 55. That all slows down in front of him. Bowalder hits the apron. Jason slows down a bit, gets a hit off Mark Redford, the tiniest of touches though. Gets out of shape, and how lucky is Jason here not to spit right and take everybody with him. Look at that, what a save. And I tell you what, Mark Redford did a good job as well in not hitting sharp on his right-hand side. And I tell you who would have got a great view of that. I tell you who would have got a great view of that, Yuri Ishmael. So watch this. There goes the 14 of Vega to the right. That's Mark Redford in front of us. Watch out for Jason Glenn just popping out in front. Ready? There's the check-up. There goes Jason. Whee! Oh, what a save. What a save indeed by Jason Glenn. But that is what brought out the yellow. So that was down to, I think, iRacing just picking up that he had a slide. As for some reason, yep, we will give you that at full speed. There you go, everybody. So pit party, everyone's on the way out the pits already. You could see there on Adrian Burke's truck, he had a little bit of contact on the left-hand side that got repaired very, very quickly. I think somebody's just spun it on pit exit, have they? No, just like, oh! That sounded like Adrian Burke hitting the wall to me there. There was definitely some contact of some sorts there. Something went wrong. That was an unbelievable save. I'm really glad you enjoyed the show, though, guys. I'm trying my best with the camera angles and everything. Please do remember, if there is any of it you don't like, I am solo broadcasting this, so I'm controlling all the cameras, all the overlay, so I can do things like this and turn that on and then turn it off again. Doing all of that and trying to commentate and keep an eye on everything that's going on as well. So please do forgive me if I miss anything or if I don't quite get something right. It's a hard job, but a very, very enjoyable one. I love doing this stuff. The field will now start to filter out. I think the lights on the safety car are still on, yes, so we have another lap yet. But that was, I mean, I tell you what, one person we really do need to go on board with for that one has to be Jason Glenn, doesn't it? We've got a massive, massive amount of... As the sim doesn't like me for a second, bear with me. So I think this is the moment. It's on board with Jace himself. You'll see it go very sideways. Watch the check up. There's a bit of the movement. Look, they check up and then suddenly Jace is like, right, we're fine. Oh, there's the hit on the apron. Whoa, whoa, whoa! The big slide. Fantastic save. But yes, as Tim said there, you need a brown flag after that one, not just a yellow. Well, I didn't know you could change your overalls in iRacing, but Jason's going to need to after that one. Flipping heck. But yeah, Kyron O'Malley now up to 4th place. 11 places gained from where he started. We've got Alexander Vega on the inside there as well. He's been in 2 of the incidents tonight. And he's still up there in 4th. Sturty says, spot on, mate. Keeping it all alive. Thanks very much, mate. Mikey Doble there in 10th place at the moment with Mark Murphy. They're going too wide now as they all filter around. So we get the wonderful blimp camera. You can see the shadows are quite low as well. It's quite late in the day here in the sim. Gotta love the blimp camera. We do have the gearbox camera as Brian Crowell's filters his way round. Interesting. Where's he going to filter into there, Brian? There you go. We've seen this before, you know, behind the pace car. Alex Cedric was actually known for it in the Vertex Stock Car Cup, where if you really needed a wee behind the pace car, as long as he'd filtered into his spot, he'd stop the truck at the side of the track, or the car, and then, yeah, he'd just park it for a minute, go for a wee, come back in, slot back into his place behind the pace car, and then carry on with the race. Did I put another bet on with Mikey? Quadruple or nothing? No, in fairness to Mikey, we've just said he owes us a beer anyway next time he sees us. For anyone that doesn't know, Chris Dawes and I, my fellow commentator on the Vertex Stock Car Cup, we put a bet on with Mikey Doble that, well, actually, he was that confident. He said, if I don't win this race, I owe Chris and you a beer each next time I see you at a real-life racing event. Because Chris and I have both commentated on Mikey Doble in the real world before as well. He raced in the BMW Compact Cup, and I believe he still does as well this year. So he said he owed us a beer, and then he didn't win it, so we said double or nothing for the next one. And then he didn't win that one either. Or did he? No, he took the race win, I think, but he just didn't win the championship. Oh, as the pace car does what no Mustang can do and turns just across the front of Ben Bennyworth without hitting any civilians. Big dint in the back of Ben Bennyworth's truck as well from that hit earlier. Right then. Here we go again. Ben Bennyworth's going to hope he has all the energy in the world with Monster Energy on it. Kyron O'Malley on the outside line with Vega down the inside. Sedgwick down his inside as well. Ben Bennyworth gets us underway again. Brian Crowell slots down to the inside line. Thomas Axe just in front. Sorry, just behind him. He words out Chaz. Mark Murphy very close to contact there with Bowmans and Naya. Now, 2x2. Redford on the outside in the 31 with Kyron O'Malley going with him in the Dale Earnhardt liveried machine. You could see Kenny Mitchell just swap into the high line there in the red number 4. He's staying on the high line as well. Up there, look at Kenny go. Look at the pace of that thing up there. He's got a great slipstream at some point, and he's used that to his advantage. He's flying around the outside. We saw Sedgwick do this earlier. Kenny's obviously seen that and thought, right, let's go. And now Mikey Doble slots in front of him. And Mikey's going to be doing Ginettas as well this year. That's going to be brilliant to watch. I really do hope I get to see him. I'm commentating on, I think, something like 15, 16 UK club events this year. So I'm sure I'll see Mikey at some point. A number of circuits as well. Can't wait, really can't wait to get back out there. I'm headed to France on Friday for the European Clio Cup, and why is Sedgwick slowing? What has happened to Alex Sedgwick? I think he might have had a moment there coming out of 1 and 2. He stayed on the apron for a mighty long time there. That's a real shame for Alex, but Redford to the front. Three wide. Talladega? Talladega, look at him go. This is the camera you want if you're going to have a large accident, so prepare yourselves. Fantastic stuff. Look at the movement between them all. That's so sketchy. Kyron O'Malley and Mikey Doble, the pairing at the front. Kyron O'Malley goes to the bottom line, or does he? Yes, he does. Or does he? Does he? Oh, there's a touch with Redford. Well, he didn't commit to the line. Redford tried to put his nose down the inside. He's got a little bit of damage on the front now, but Mikey Doble's on the outside and leading this race. Now Kyron needs a push. Oh, it really checks up on that outside line. There was a bit of contact there. Kenny Mitchell comes down to the inside. Netherwood's hung out to dry up there as well. Burks now comes down the line, or does he? Oh, what is Jason Glenn doing? Jason sneaks around the outside of Burks somehow. I don't know how he made that work. Flipping heck. He's got Sedgwick pushing him now with Netherwood, but Doble is back to the front. Kenny Mitchell just behind. Finn Robinson doing a smashing job in second place. We're 14 laps from the end. After this one, that is. 3 wide there with Netherwood at the top. Jason Glenn and Alex Sedgwick behind on the inside of them. They've got Justin Naya, the 21 of Peter Mailer. Hopefully he can deliver a good performance tonight. Mikey Doble, though. Well, he's been quick all throughout the Vertex Stock Car Cup. And he's doing it again now. 3 wide now. These guys are getting nice and confident, nice and cozy. This is the thing. When you race with people a number of times, you get used to how everyone races. It's all good. Now Netherwood needs to commit to a line there. He's actually going to hold Finn up a bit. Look at that top line go. Sedgwick and Glenn getting in front of everybody. They need to filter down, though. Sedgwick wants to go with him. He's sort of moving down, saying, come on, Jason, get down low. There you go. Whoa, a bit of a move. Whoa. But don't forget, a lap or so ago, Alex was at the back. Can we just take a second to appreciate how he's done that? We saw Alex have issues at turns 1 and 2. And since then, he's come from the back. And, like, it must have been, what, 2, 3 laps? And now he's back pushing for the front. That was unbelievable. Well, that's some of the real-life expertise coming through for you there, you could say. Look at this, though, with Mailer in the middle. Fantastic shots. Jump back on with the chopper. Here you go. Listen to the sound. 23 700 horsepower or more V8s. I think they're restricted to about 500 horsepower around here. But they still do 180 miles an hour or 300 Ks. I could listen to that all day. Now, Jason Glenn's not quite on the low. Look at Netherwood at the front. Look at that push he's having off Finn Robinson. Wow, oh wow. And Netherwood goes down to the bottom in the lead of the race. That was a fantastic push there from Finn. Now you can see them. They're not pushing around the corner. That's very wise. Kyron O'Malley just tucked in behind Kenny Mitchell. What's Kyron going to do here? Oh, he's going to hit the back of Kenny is what he's going to do. I think there was a bit of a check-up on that bottom line. They're all checking up behind. You've got to be careful not to make contact there, boys. They've done all right. But you can see just from where Kyron is how much you can get sort of squeezed out when you're on that bottom line and just gradually drop positions, because he's still got Mark Redford right behind him, and they made that contact before when they were right at the front. Speaking of right at the front, though, Netherwood, brilliant at the moment. Cedric goes to the middle line. Doble wants to go with him, but Finn Robinson is there. Now Finn's got to give Alex a push. We've seen that Finn is good at this. So we'll go on board with him. Or will we? There we go. There's Cedric in front. That on the left is the 52 of Stephen Netherwood, but you can all read. Bit of contact there between Robinson and Cedric, but again, pushing to the front. Look, Cedric now goes to the middle. Axe is right behind him. This is so, so close. The tiniest bit of movement is all it takes, and there's big contact. Ivan Bauman's getting very close to the wall on the outside there. We're starting to develop a number of drivers that are always up there at the front at this stage. Now this is getting tasty because Axe is there. Kenny Mitchell needs to come down a little bit. Kenny was nowhere near the apron but started moving up a little bit. I mean, he knows better than I do, but that's awesome, isn't it? Look at that. How many trucks can you get in one shot? That's wonderful to look at, isn't it? Look at that. You've got to love this type of racing, everybody. So, 10 laps to go. Thoughts? Post them in the comments. Let us know who you've got your eye on. Who's going well at the moment. I mean, Cedric is working so well with some of these guys. Oh, that was a big moment for Finn Robinson. They're 4 wide now. Oh, V gets in the wall. That slows him down. There's a check-up. Kenny Mitchell runs a little bit wide. That looked like Yuri Ishmael kissing the wall there as well. We're going to go back to the chopper cam because you need to pick this up from above, figure out who's where. Cedric trying to push Doble. Cedric's out of shape. Cedric's going to pile into him. Oh, and they're around. Alex got an absolute tank slapper there. Oh, and that's a big hit. Bauman's into the back of O'Malley. Justin Nair and Finn Robinson off the circuit there behind the Winnebagos. Oh, that was... Honestly, what a time for us to jump onto that, eh? I think John Bewelder had an issue. Actually, no, it wasn't. Right, then, let's pick this apart again, shall we? So you've got Stephen Netherwood out front. We'll go to the chopper cam, but look at Sedgwick, the black truck on the far right-hand side. Doble moves in front. And Alex gets a really good run up to the back of him. I'm wondering... Does Alex just... Yeah, Alex lifts off, and I think Finn has just caught the back of him, yeah, and he's out of shape. I think that's the second time. Not of course, Finn's fault, but I think that's the second time tonight that Finn's been in there. Alex bounces around like a ping-pong ball, hits Justin Nair and Mailer, who then hits Kyron, then hits Redford. Everyone else backs it up a bit. Look at Bauman's between Burks and Crowell's there. Everybody jumps down low. Sharp does that as well. Sharp avoids Ishmael, although the two of them actually is a bit of netcode contact. Nair gets drilled by Bauman's. Crowell chucks it to the left. And then you'll see here, Kyron O'Malley. Justin Nair goes across the front of Bauman's. Kyron O'Malley gets smacked in the rear from him as well. Seemed like Bauman's just kept drilling through it. We'll have a look. You can hear him lifting already. Ready, there's the move, there's contact. Oh, he got back on the power, and again, and hit Justin Nair and Kyron O'Malley. He thought that it was all gone and it was all done. But that was that, I'm afraid. Sorry. There we go. But still, this is going to be a real dash to the end now. We have guys in the pit lane. Guys on the way out of the pit lane. Seems like quite the empty pit lane, actually, doesn't it? Either way, here they are. Stephen Netherwood still leads this race, though. He's ahead of Jason Glenn, Mikey Doble, Thomas Axe, Kenny Mitchell, Andy Oakley. Aaron Smith has gained 17 spots in this race. He's flying. So let's just take a quick drink now. I'm getting very dehydrated doing this. It's unbelievable. Thanks very much, Cameron. Really, I'm glad that you're enjoying the show. Doing this single-handedly isn't the easiest thing in the world. But it's a hell of a race so far, really, honestly, guys. I hope you've thoroughly enjoyed this race. I have. It's been one of the real amazing events for us here on Vertex Esports. And, of course, thanks to Trackvelocity Racing as well, and Racing for Luby and all the guys for the support of this race. Please do remember as well, you can donate to Racing for Luby, to Cancer Research UK. We would be very grateful if you can. Obviously, you know, it's not mandatory to be here tonight, but you know, it would make all the change if you can. And obviously we have to say a big thanks as well to Jack Dowell Motorsports as well before for the $70 US. Thank you very much. That does mean a lot, guys. Thank you. Kenny will be very, very happy indeed. There's the man of the moment, Kenny Mitchell, number 4, with the Racing for Luby truck. Tim saying, if the F1 qualifying is half as entertaining tomorrow, I'll be happy. Yes, it is F1 tomorrow, actually. Now, there's something for me to watch. That's the problem about being a commentator, I'm afraid. When you're out commentating on another event, you don't actually get to watch the other stuff live. I think there's about 3 weekends this year where I'm free. This weekend, as in tomorrow, is one of them. Although then again, I'm still commentating in the evening, but it's part of it. It's part of the fun. That's why I love my job. So, Jason Glenn, Mikey Doble, Kenny Mitchell, Aaron Smith, and Brian Crowles. All guys that we've seen in the Vertex Stock Car Cup before, and all guys that have been very, very quick in said Vertex Stock Car Cup. We're going to have 6 laps to the end. That includes lap 52. So this is going to be a real dash, knowing how much positions can change over the course of 1 lap. It just takes one good run around the outside. That's all it takes. So 2 Fords at the front, Glenn and Netherwood, then 2 Toyotas, Doble and Axe, and Mitchell and Oakley in a Toyota and Chevrolet combo. It would be very fitting to see Kenny Mitchell win tonight, wouldn't it? But JJ saying his money's on Jason or Mikey, so Jason Glenn 2nd place at the moment, the 55. He has been very quick all along. I think a win has still eluded him in the Vertex Stock Car Cup, although he says actually no, it's got to be Mikey. Come on, the Toyota. He owns a Previa. Oh dear. By accident or? I'm joking, JJ. Either way, Stephen Heatherwood's been great tonight. You know, like I said before, he's been good to watch in the My Turn Racing Sunday Night Truck Series. And once again here, he's been great to watch in this as well. This is what I love about these super speedways. You know, there's, I mean, not to downplay it, but when it comes to, you know, carrying the momentum, braking and turning in and getting the right foot down at the right moment, there's not as much involved. You can stay flat around the whole track here, but you've got to know how to manage the traffic, and that in itself is a real art form. But here we go then. Lap 52 in the Racing for Luby 150 is about to get underway. Stephen Netherwood at the helm with Jason Glenn on his outside, and hopefully with this the dash to the finish is underway. The revs rise again. Jason Glenn to the front. Thomas Axe there, trying to cut his way through, you could say. And don't forget Andy Oakley. Andy Oakley's there as well on the outside in the British Rail machine, the Intercity 125 livery. Still makes me chuckle saying it. Aaron Smith is there as well. Always lurking, always waiting, always trying to take opportunities. Now we know how accidents can happen down there. Everybody needs to be so careful. Scratch that. Mark Redford and Mark Murphy flying through the middle. Oh my goodness me. Maybe a little bit too flamboyant, boys. Did you see the pace they had on everyone else? That's how dangerous it can be. If you get the guys that know how to do it right a little bit further back in the pack, they can be an absolute rocket ship forwards if they work together. Now look, you can see everyone moving around. Look at Redford. He is foot flat to the floor here. They're 4 wide. Andy Oakley and Steve Mailer on his outside. There's contact with Oakley. Mitchell's turned around. Redford's in there as well. It was going to happen. I'm sorry, Mark, but Redford was pushing through there. And in the end, it's caused a yellow. We'll have to see what happened with the actual contact at the time, but you can see him there. Look, makes it 4 wide. He's between Smith and Oakley. Mailer on the outside. Sedgwick just behind Oakley there in the black number 9. Now, who moves on who? I have a feeling that Oakley came down a little bit. Seems to me like he's staying on his line. I think Mark's gone up a little bit. 6 of one, half a dozen the other. They get turned into Mitchell, who then gets pitched right. He goes up into Adrian Burks as well. Oh, he gets turned over, does Andy Oakley. So my pick for the race. Turned over in a big, big way. Rides along the fence. At least he'd get a good score for that on Tony Hawk. But Justin Nyer involved in that as well. Big old hit there for most of them. And a wild, wild ride for Andy Oakley. So, Mark, you can see there on his left. There's the touch. There it is, and ready. Oh, that second hit really does turn him upside down quickly. Ends up on all 4s again, though, but that is, nearly close contact there with Kyron O'Malley. Yeah, 1,800 points for a triple ollie. It wasn't quite a 540, was it? Kenny Mitchell in the pits now. Doble at the front of this. But, yeah. Fair play to Aaron for getting out of that. That's a good point, actually. We didn't really catch what Aaron had done there. Let's do that again. Come on. There we go. So this is Aaron Smith. Watch the yellow truck on the inside. Oh, I'd say he got a little bit of help and being tipped left, but yeah, fair play. He was very suddenly away from the scene of the accident, wasn't he? But yeah, indeed, I'm absolutely gutted, much like you are, JJ, for Kenny Mitchell, who is back out on track. It's going to be a hell of a charge through from the end, you can imagine. I mean, we saw before how quickly Alex Sedgwick managed to turn it around from being right near the back of the pack to fighting for the lead. I'm not sure if they've got green-white-checkered turned on. I hope they can't finish behind the pace car. Usually they'll have a green-white-checkered, so what that means for anyone that doesn't know is if they do have a pace car that goes to, say, lap 57, that will not be the last lap of the race. It will be a green flag lap, which will be go, obviously. And then the next time they cross the line, that will begin the last lap. If they get to the last lap, the white flag, then that is final. But if they go on the green flag lap and have another caution, then they do it again. They sit behind the pace car for a bit and have another green, white, checkered. And they keep doing that until they get to the white flag. So if they get to the white flag, no matter what happens on that final lap, no matter who goes out, that will be the last lap of the race. Andy Oakley, though, it's always the commentator's curse, isn't it? You pick a car for the race win and they get absolutely ploughed. Redford got away with that, didn't he? It was a great push from Mark, but just maybe a little bit too soon. Either way, I mean, he had great pace with Mark Murphy as they were coming up the order as well on the back straight. It was amazing. But unfortunately, I have to say, I think it was the catalyst for what happened there. It's very calm, isn't it, behind the pace car? Only 100 kilometers an hour. It's barely even motorway pace at Talladega. It feels incredibly slow, doesn't it? So they will go on to lap 56 now. And then obviously they'll go green for 57. So then lap 58 will become the white flag lap. And if they get to lap 58, then that will be the end of the race, essentially, once they finish said lap. Just need to grab another quick drink there. Thirsty work, this. Thirsty work. Either way. Tell you what, there's a question for the chat. Let's get some viewer interaction going on. What are we all drinking tonight? I'm on trusty Coke Zero for this broadcast. Not drinking on the job this evening. Usually I'd have a lovely cider with some of these races, but no. Tonight is a Coke Zero sort of evening. I hope you're all enjoying this with a lovely drink on your Friday night. Ruby Hobgoblin. Wow, that's a really good shout, Tim. Very good shout. And of course the other question in chat, everyone, after that incident, as we're going to go on to what I believe will be a green-white-checkered, who do you reckon will be your race winner? Cameron drinking orange juice. Fair play. Oh, JJ's got a German litre tankard filled to the brim with orange squash. That's fantastic. I'm really tense now. I do not. Sturty's on the JD and Coke. Classic. Absolute classic, that Sturty. Love it. Mikey Doble, though, leading this. Doble.co.uk as well. Very small world, actually. Mikey Doble turned up at my auntie's house, not randomly. Delivered a motorbike, because my cousin had bought one and wanted to keep it a secret from my uncle. So he delivered it to my other auntie's house in secret. And yeah, he realised when he saw the surname Draycott on the invoice that it was my Auntie Kay. Very small world. Anyway, we're going to go on to lap 57 here at Talladega, which will be, as planned, our final lap. But I believe we're going to get green-white-checkered. We'll have to see, won't we? Let's see what the sim throws up for us here and what Mikey Doble can do. He puts his foot down, gets away. Great start. Although I think he's gone early. He has. He's overdone it. Jace Glenn goes into the back of him. Stephen Netherwood gets a second chance. Gary Perrin's on the Baileys. Good stuff. We are going to get 58 laps. So, this is the rule, everybody. If these guys make it to the line next time round and get the white flag in the air, that's the last lap of the race. And that's how it's going to stay. But I don't think we're going to make it there. There's contact with Netherwood and Jason Glenn gets turned and we've got another caution. It was going to happen. The boys are pushing hard. And Axe is going to go into Kenny Mitchell. Oh my God, I think he needs another change of underwear. Well, there was a lot of movement. It was a little bit scrappy, but we were always going to see it. Aaron Smith now up to third place. Merde. I know exactly what that means, JJ. The French people in the chat will know I've just sworn live on air, but the British won't. Let's have a look. So Jason goes up high. Netherwood in the middle. Jace just moves down a little bit. There's the tiniest of touches. Mailer then hits Netherwood back up into him. Jason comes down. Oh, and then Netherwood coming down gets hit. Look at this from Kenny Mitchell, though. Oh. Go on board with Kenny, you'll see it all happen. So you'll see Jason just at the top of his shot there goes up and then down, hits by Netherwood, and then there's a tap on Mailer which puts Netherwood up into him. Kenny thinks, great. The incident goes over onto the left, so he's back on it, he's going through, and then suddenly, whoa, Axe on the left-hand side, cutting it fine. Well, it was aggressive movement by all of them. Just the tiniest tap here and there is what it takes. And then we're back under yellow again. It's alright, JJ. It is absolutely alright, mate. Whew. Well, a little bit more downtime in the race. We've got Thomas Axe on his way into the pits after the damage that he sustained. Is he... It's blown the engine, so he's just creeping into his box. He's just going to make it. And then suddenly, boop, fast repair. He gets some fresh boots. He's going to go out there again. Whew. Right, where are the people that got caught up in that incident before? We've got a lot of trucks out of the race. O'Malley, Naya, Bowens, Bewalder, Cooper. Oakley is still running. Oakley got a fast repair. He's behind Kenny Mitchell as well. Those two got caught up in the previous incident before that one. We're going to add another couple of laps on here, but this is the tension of these races, you know. I told you, green-white-checkered. Money's going on the 70 truck now, but I want Mikey to win, says Gary Perrin. Yeah, Aaron Smith, you know, he's always there. There goes Andy Oakley around the field, so he can gain his lap back. And we still have lights on the pace car, so we have another lap after this, do we? We'll have to have a quick look from on board with Mikey Doble. We do have lights on the pace car. Oh, Jason Glenn and Ryan Sharp have just had an issue. What's gone on here? Oh no. Oh, Ryan. Oh, Ryan. Oh, and there's a little tap from Kenny Mitchell there. Well, I wouldn't recommend doing that, everybody. Oh, now he's got to try and look at the bank in there. Look how steep that is. Well, it says not recommended motorsport, and I wouldn't recommend that, unfortunately. Peter Mailer's up to second place here. He had a little bit of a part to play in that incident there, but through no fault of his own. You know, he was just moving through the corner, and there was the tiny touch just as he went up, and it fired off Stephen Netherwood up into Jason Glenn. Like I say, no fault of Peter's, though. Quite like how calm it is, you know, on these slower laps. It's nice, isn't it? Either way, we have only a handful of laps to go then. And you know how much it can all change. Aaron Smith, double Vertex Stock Car Cup champion. Second place at the moment. Sorry, third place at the moment. But he's obviously going to be on the inside line on this restart behind Mikey Doble. And look at that as well, just behind Alexander Viga. He's actually recovered from being the first incident of the day and the second incident of the day. So you actually end up in 5th place. Strong stuff. Now they're all going 2 by 2 or gradually. I think who's out on the outside? Alex Sedgwick. Have we still got another lap under the pace car? No, we don't. This is our last lap under the pace car then. Oh, I think we might be going for a single file restart this time. So Aaron Smith is definitely going to be on the inside line, but so is everybody. So this is intriguing. Means that it's a lot more difficult to get any sort of advantage and develop a line to try and push. But we're going to be in the state now where we're going to, it's a 62 lap race. Because obviously we're about to start lap 61 and then the white flag will be waved for lap 62. As they creep down the back straight again. Doble in the 88. Going to be very chuffed. In the Racing for Luby entry, it'd be great to get one of the cars with the branding on it, or one of the trucks, sorry, with the branding on it winning this. The Racing for Luby 150. That would mean a lot to the team. Thank you everyone for the likes and subscriptions so far, much appreciated. It's great to see all of you. I hope you've enjoyed the event so far. And I'll be your host for the remainder of these events as well, Chaz Draycott. And don't forget the Vertex Mixed Bag World Cup as well, which we will explain again a little bit later. But for now, we're about to start lap 61 here at Talladega, with Doble at the front. And look, they're all staying high so they can then cut down and get as much pace as they can. Doble will put his foot down any moment now. There he goes. Everyone jumping with him quite well there. Obviously the slipstream is going to help straight away. Aaron Smith goes down to the bottom line. Alex Sedgwick knows what's good for him, goes with him. Mailer squeezing them down there. Wow, oh wow, he wants to make sure they stay low. They need to get to the white flag. Doble holds it down to the low line. Sedgwick just down the inside of Mailer. Vega going in there as well. It could be these 5 for the win. Vega needs to be careful with making contact. The guys behind need to be careful as well. They all want to push for the front. And look at this. This is the thing. When you come from further back, you can get a mighty run. Look at Steve Cass. He is on the move. Although he hits the back of Mailer, that's not a good thing to do in the corner. You want to do that on the straight. Contact with Sedgwick and Vega. Oh, Mailer's come down on Mark Murphy. We've got another one. It looked like it was a little bit clumsy, wasn't it? Cass hit the back of Mailer really hard. And then Mailer just turned down on Mark Murphy. Heat of the moment. Not sure whether he lost it. Look, there's the hit. Bang! That could have easily spun Peter around. Vega then hooks himself on the back of Sedgwick's truck. And then, yeah, Mailer just comes straight down into Murphy, unfortunately. Luckily, didn't catch anyone else up in that. But we have another yellow, I'm afraid. And Aaron Smith is now up to second place. Well, it continues. Sedgwick will be thanking his lucky stars, though, after that one with Vega, not to have been turned around there. That was very, very close indeed. Now they just slow it up a little bit as they go through 3 and 4. Now, I don't think Murphy got disqualified there, Linus. I think it was just he's had a few internet troubles over my time commentating on him, so I think that was just a blink in and out there for a moment. He's had quite a few of them before. So there's the field filtering their way down through the tri-oval. Aaron Smith, second place at the moment, genuinely in with a shout of winning this race. And that's the thing, yeah, who's got enough fuel? That's a good point. Ben Bennyworth and Mark Redford are both in the pits. Nobody is pitted after lap 58, which was Jason Glenn and Stephen Netherwood, but obviously they were involved in the incident earlier. I'm not sure what Vega's doing there. He's going ahead of Alex Sedgwick for third place. Maybe just having a bit of a play about. But as they filter their way around 1 and 2, I think we still have lights on the safety car. We might have another lap yet. Mikey Doble will tell us. Yes, we do. Just have a quick look back at the incident again and see what the situation was. So Steve Cass gets into Mailer very, very hard. And watch Sedgwick here. Now, I think he gets a tiny tap there, and it just... No, he gradually comes up a little bit, but then it just hooks them together. They could have turned so hard into that outside wall. And I think, to be fair, Mailer just chucks it down to the left as hard as possible and just doesn't realise that Murphy's there. Either that or he just didn't realise how hard he turned left. I mean, it's easy to overdo it in these things. You've got Yuri Ishmael in the Monster Energy machine going to the middle there as well. Does he make contact with Sharp? He gets very close. We've got guys in the chat running out of alcohol. That's never good, is it, boys? Sturty hasn't got enough JD, and Gary's Bailey's has run out. Well, biggest mover in the field then, Aaron Smith. 22 places gained. We'll show you that on the left-hand side. Sorry if that's hard to read against the red. Chaz has actually gained 16 places to be up there. He's had a fantastic run so far. Andy Oakley still in the race. At the back of the train. Get it? Unfortunately at the moment though, it's not looking like a smooth run to the line for him, or even a race win, but Mikey Doble will be very happy with his performance so far. They're keeping the revs nice and low as well. Just going to come across the line now. Oh, there you go. The software had to update the overlay there because we've gone to another green-white-checkered period. The lights go out. Are we going to get a finish? I think the fourth time round... I think it's the fourth time round it just eventually says, oh, come on, stop being daft, boys. And it just goes, oh, I'm sick of it, and then finishes the race. So let's just have a look then. It says, this is from Wikipedia, a green-white checker finish in North American vehicle racing. A green-white checker finish is one in which no yellow caution flag is shown during the final laps. Well, clearly that's wrong. Many race rules require a green-white checker finish because no competition may take place, including no passing, while the caution flag is showing. The name alludes to 3 racing flags. Okay, so how it's done currently. There's a lot of different explanations. Either way, I think it's only 4 times. There you go, you can tell that it couldn't find that in the text, couldn't you? Right then. We'll try that again, shall we? Take 3. Andrew Oakley, Intercity out of luck. Here he is. Definitely out of luck at the moment. And if he finishes where he is, he's going to make like a train and turn up late. Yeah, 4 green-white-checkered attempts. Thank you, O'Malley. Much appreciated. I believe that's actually Kyron as well in the chat. He is out of the race, so wouldn't be surprised. Here we go, though. Mikey Doble leading us again. Aaron Smith putting that pressure on him. Mikey finally got a win. And look at this, the 3 at the front. Oof. 3 at the front are the ones that are always the 3 at the front of the Vertex Stock Car Cup. Awesome stuff. Right then, lap 65 is about to get underway. And hopefully, the final restart of the night, Mikey Doble gets underway. Smith goes with him. Cedric's going to be the one that goes down low first. Surely, they all go together. Or do they? Whoa, that was close. Keep an eye on Vega just behind. If we look further back, you know, some of these guys are going to get a fantastic run down the back straight. Single file restarts, though, keeping it nice and safe so far. Look at Jason Glenn on the back of Kenny Mitchell and Adrian Burks. Keep it tidy, boys. Keep it tidy. Oh, look at that defensive stuff from Finn Robinson. Moves up the track in front of Adrian Burks. He potentially senses a good run from that high line. There's Cass, Ishmael side by side with Sharp. They need to be careful moving down. We're going to get to the white flag, or are we? Mark Murphy's got a little bit of a tap from Sharp. We're going to get the white flag. Are we? Oh, just about. Kenny Mitchell contact with... Oh, there's more contact. Murphy in there with Cass. They're both down. Oh, they're across the road as well, and they're around, but the race doesn't care. They carry on. They're all wrecking. Kenny Mitchell's off. That's a massive hit. Sharp and Glenn. Sorry, that's Finn Robinson and Glenn. Oh, and Oakley's into him. Doble still leads the race. Oh, there's another touch. Alex Cedric's been smacked in the side by Yuri Ishmael. He's probably going to go and return the favour now because he knows he's not going to win the race. But look at this at the front. Doble with Smith pushing him all the way. Is Smith going to try this right at the line? Oh, and Ishmael's been turned around. Yuri Ishmael's in the wall. That's a massive hit for Stephen Netherwood. Oh, and Cedric's in there as well, and Axe is off. It's now 3 for the front. Mikey Doble, Aaron Smith, and look at this. Alexander Vega, the man that turned around at the very start of the race. He's going to try and win this. But The Racing for Luby 150 goes the way of Mikey Doble. Fantastic drive. That's two in a row on the channel. Oh my God. Wow, oh wow. What a race. What an ending. Fantastic stuff from Mikey Doble. That was one of the most entertaining races I have ever commentated on. Ever. Thank you, everybody. That was just phenomenal. Right then, let's try and pick this back up. What on earth happened here? So this is... Oakley's behind all this. What went on here then? Right, let's slow it down. So look at Mark Murphy there, 58 on the inside. He ended up out of the race. Cass moves down a little bit. There's a tiny touch. He gets a bit out of shape. There's a second bit of contact. So Cass goes sideways, and then another hit. And then just above them, Ishmael goes out to the front ahead of Sharp. They get turned around. I think Jason Glenn avoids that in the black and blue machine. He does just about, but then he hits. Does he go up into Netherwood? No. It's Finn Robinson that gets turned around. Kenny Mitchell's in there. Kenny gets a smack from Jason. Those two get turned. Oh, Kenny's going to go up into that wall very hard indeed. Turn right. Smacks into the barrier at the top. That was a humongous hit. We then look forward to Yuri Ishmael, who's right on the back of Vigert. But look at that. Vigert got a great run, because look how far back he is there from Aaron Smith. We'll get some of the music on in the background, by the way, just so we've got the end of broadcast music coming on. But now, watch this between Ishmael and Cedric. Oh, Ishmael just comes down as if Cedric wasn't there. And then this is what happened after that. So you've got Sharp down the inside of Ishmael. Gets an overlap. And Ishmael just doesn't leave the room. That's twice in about 10 seconds. And then Cedric's going to get caught up in this somehow as well. Someone in the chat shouted Arca brakes, and they weren't wrong. So Cedric goes up to avoid it, hits Burke, and the same with Netherwood and Axe. It's a big hit. That was a massive hit for both of them. Netherwood actually crossed the line in 5th place in that. He actually came through and finished in 5th. Now I'm wondering, did anyone else come piling into this as well? Because we had to look away and see what happened. Is there anyone else coming? No, there's no one for a while actually. Those guys go. But look at Vigert, actually gained 2nd on the line. Look at this, he just comes down. Cheeky little tap there of Aaron Smith's door. And he just gets it on the line, does Vigert. But Mikey Doble is your race winner, everybody. Fantastic stuff. Absolutely fantastic. That was so enjoyable. Thank you very much. We do have driver interviews coming up. And, well, who else can we start with other than the man that made it happen at the end? Mikey, you must be over the moon, mate. That was an absolutely corking finish there.
Yeah, I was screaming going over the line to my teammates Adrian and Kenny, saying, "Yeah, we got the KME Motorsport car in victory lane, first outing."
Definitely.
And, yeah, I was so pleased to win this race. It's such a hard race to win at Talladega or Daytona or one of the restrictor plate races. You've got to have so many things go right for you, but turns out I was in the right place at the right time and had a good push from Aaron. I was vigorously messaging him under caution, discussing plans, and when I saw someone to his outside through the tri-oval, I thought, oh, that is actually mine, because I can back him up into that. So he gets side drafted. He's got no room to go to the outside, so then I could just keep it pinned.
Well, we've got a lot of support coming in from the chat as well, mate. You know, everyone, Sturty's in there as well. Gary Perrin saying, well done, Mikey. James Montgomery as well, saying, congratulations, Mikey. That was
excellent.
Honestly, I mean, there was a number of wrecks behind you. I mean, I imagine that was in the back of your mind. It was just a case of, right, look forward and push forward. Because, I mean, out of all people to have pushing you at the end there, I think Aaron Smith is kind of one of the best ones, but also one of the worst ones, because you know how crafty and how fast he is.
Oh, well, being diplomatic, I'd rather have Aaron behind me than many of the other drivers out there, to be honest. But I trust him. He's a very, very good racer. I mean, he's so clean, and he's just one of those people that you feel like you can race 110%, and just stuff isn't going to go wrong. You know, he's just that he's that good, and like racing with Alex, and and people like that, you just got that trust. And I think that the fact that it was kind of on that last restart, me, Aaron, and Alex at the end, just kind of being in the right place at the right time, I kind of had a little bit more confidence. But yeah, I was actually not expecting to to win that race, being the leader on the restart, because I know that in these things you're kind of a bit of a sitting duck if you're in the lead coming onto the last lap, as I found out in the practice race. But no, I was constantly watching the rearview mirror. As soon as they went too wide behind, you sort of back out the throttle, let him get side by side so he's boxed in, and then it's all over.
I love how naughty that is, but brilliant tactics at the same time. Honestly, Mikey, that was a pleasure to watch. Really, really pleased for you, mate. You drove an absolute corker of a race. Is there anybody you want to give a quick shout out to before you go? And undoubtedly, pop open a bottle, mate.
Yeah,
beer.
I'll try and. Oh, well, you mean that beer you've got to buy me?
Oh yeah. Well, I forgot what the outcome of that, so I owe you a beer, do I? Oh yeah, because you won it.
Yeah, we can keep it like that. You and Chris. So.
Yeah.
Not be maybe the practice day, so I haven't got too much the next day. But yeah, I'll give a quick shout out to firstly thanks to Kenny for asking me to drive for him in some upcoming races. Doing a lovely, I really like that livery he's done for me. I really thought it stands out nice on the camera. Yeah, and hopefully people donated to his cause for sponsoring the race. Thanks for that as well. Thanks for Trackvelocity Racing, Brian and Jason and the rest of the team for putting on this race. They do a very good job with the organising, and everything seems to go very smoothly. Hello to my family watching downstairs on the Xbox as usual, and grandparents sitting at home, and Sturty and Gary and James Montgomery at home, and anyone else that's watching that I don't know about, but hopefully they stayed in for the long haul and made it through the cautions, but we got there in the end.
We did indeed.
Anyone else? I'll get a slap tomorrow if I forget someone, but so be it.
Well, it was great to speak to you, Mikey. Honestly, it was a real pleasure to do that. I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I obviously, well, it's always good to watch a mate win, mate. And honestly, it was very heartwarming, that. And of course, like you said, the one of the KME Motorsports cars across the line there, the great cause has got a race win at one of its most important events. So well done, mate. And we'll let you go and enjoy your evening even more.
Yeah, hopefully there's something good for dinner downstairs and not something crap, but I'll soon find out. But anyway, yep. And thanks to you as well. Great coverage as always. My family always say they like your coverage more than anyone else's, and it's always very good to watch back after. So thank you very much.
Mate. Really appreciate that. Thank you, everybody, as well. Thank you to Mikey's family. And I will hopefully see you at a real track at some point this year, mate. I've got a few club events under my belt, so we'll have to organise something at some point.
I'll see you in that bar, mate.
You will do. See you later.
See ya.
Smashing stuff. Absolutely smashing. Mikey is an absolute hero. And someone else, I tell you what, real hero of the night tonight. Now, I've been getting your name wrong all race, mate, so I'm just going to call you Alexander for this point. But honestly, to be the first truck to get turned around, not get a yellow flag for your troubles, and still come away with second, you must be grinning like mad at the moment.
I mean, I had a really bad start of the race. I was like almost wanted to give up, but man, I have some team and sponsors and stuff, so of course I don't want to give up. But yeah, I have a really rough start. I haven't been driving the truck on Superspeedways for probably 1.5 years, so
wow.
I'm a really aggressive driver, and I tried to be that at the start, but yeah, the fault was on my side. And yeah, from the cup car to the truck, it's a whole different car. So yeah, I wasn't used to it, so that's why a lot of problems were happening with me tonight.
Well, still, fantastic racing with Aaron Smith at the end there. Door-to-door stuff across the line as well. You've got to love that sort of approach at the Tri-Oval. It certainly looked like a lot of fun. I mean, the pack seemed like 1 minute it was very chill, and then the next moment it just completely exploded. Did it feel like that from inside the truck, or was it more of just take it from a lap-by-lap basis from where you are?
Nah, I think it was chill the first, when the caution left, when the green flag just went out, it was no problem. But then when I saw the 4 white stacking up behind me and the 7 car just came so fast, I just had to block. And I was like, okay, if I crash and he spins me out, it's no problem. Like, I have done everything I have. But I managed to save the car, and I have no idea how, because it went so loose. And then I was really scared that I was gonna lose the 2 cars in front of me. But yeah, I managed to keep up, and yeah, I tried to make the best of it at the last lap there. So.
Well, we've just seen in slow motion now the moment that the number 7 Yuri Ishmael got right on the rear end through 1 and 2, and I mean you were sideways for a good bit of time, but then you still managed to convert that into good speed and a second place finish. It's just a hell of a turnaround from you, Alex. I mean, you should be very proud of that. Can we expect to see you in any of the Vertex events going forward, do you reckon, or is this a bit of a one-off sort of special appearance?
No, as long there is broadcast, and I had fun tonight, and yeah, sure, why not? I'm always up to racing new people, but I'm really used to the Cup car, and why not? So
be interesting to see, Alex. It's been a real joy to watch you tonight, mate. A fantastic comeback and a good second place, well deserved. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to while you're in the booth?
Yeah, I want to give a big shout out to my team, High Coast Esports. It's a big organization or community organization in Sweden. And then I want to give a big shout out to my sponsors, Logitech and PickedLast.se. And my family who is watching, I love you. So, yeah, thanks.
Brilliant. Great to speak to you, Alex. Well done tonight, mate. And hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Yeah, bye.
Cheers. And to go with that, we have our double Vertex Stock Car Cup champion and third place finisher in that race, Aaron Smith, with us. Aaron, great to have you in the booth again, mate. That looked like a lot of fun there with Mikey and Alex at the line.
Oh yeah, it was a blast. The whole race, start to finish, was really fun.
And what did you make of early on? Because I know that you weren't always in your prime position right near the front, but we sort of all knew that you'd eventually get there because that's just what you do. Did you find it hard to get through the pack, or was it just a lot of patience that helped you on the way there?
Yeah, there were some points in the green flag runs where the field would just stack up and they'd be going 3x3, sometimes 4x4, and couldn't really do much in those situations. But once they started getting 2x2 again with the constant restarts, we were able to start making some moves.
Well, it certainly worked out for you there. Were you going to go for a move around Mikey at the last corner there, and did Alex sort of put pay to that?
Yeah, we were coordinating on Discord about what we were going to do on the restart, and we timed it pretty well. I almost cut Sedgwick's nose off there in the restart, so fortunately he gave me a little bit of room. But after that, we hooked up and just drove away from the field, it felt like, until that last corner where the other Alex got to me. But yeah, I wanted to pull out, but I just didn't pull out soon enough.
Well, it certainly looked like a strong race all the same. And either way, still a podium position. I know it's not normally a NASCAR tradition with podiums and such. It's just the winner that gets the honours, but still a very, very strong drive all the way through. And I mean, coming forward, obviously, to the Mixed Bag World Cup that Vertex are going to be doing, can we expect to see you flaunting your talents in that?
We'll see. I'm still trying to test out some of the combinations on the schedule, but I'm sure it'll be a pretty good season for us.
Well, I certainly do look forward to it, Aaron. It's great to speak to you again, mate. And of course, you know the question by now. You've been in the booth many times when you've won 1,000,001 races. Do you want to give anyone a quick thanks while you're here?
To thank the folks at Trackvelocity for putting this show on, as well as Kenny Mitchell for sponsoring the event. My thoughts are with he and his family as well.
Yeah.
It's tough for them. But yeah, everyone in the field put on a pretty good race, and fortunately we were able to get almost the best of it. So we're looking forward to the next event.
Smashing. Great to speak to you, Aaron. Always a pleasure. And hopefully we'll see you very soon, mate.
All right, thank you.
Cheers. Aaron is such a top bloke, honestly. Very humble, double champion of the Vertex Stock Car Cup. A real top bloke. And speaking of top blokes, didn't quite go his way tonight, unfortunately, as we see slow-mo of him recovering from the incident. But Kenny Mitchell joins me in the box. Kenny, it's a fantastic cause this evening. Not quite the race you wanted at the end there, but it looked like you had a lot of fun. Talk us through it.
Yeah, it didn't quite go to plan at the end there. We gave it everything, but just caught a little bit of bad luck after I think I dodged maybe 2 of the big incidents before that, and the last one there kind of got me. So we did our best, but Mikey and Adrian did so good tonight, and congratulations to Mikey on the win, and to Alex and Aaron for second and third. I hope it was a good race for everyone.
Oh, it was honestly, I just said a moment ago, one of my favourite races that I've ever broadcasted. One of the most exciting, intense,
really?
And dynamic races. As you know, with restrictor plate races, there's always so much that can go on. There's so many different aspects. People pushing through in different trains, developing a high line to try and push around the outside of the lower line. I mean, you had a bit of all of that tonight, didn't you? You seemed to sometimes be on the low line making it work. Other times you had to make it work up high. And that's the thing about these races. You need to know exactly what to do in every situation, don't you? It's not as easy as just flat out and turn left as people think.
No, definitely not. And as you say, you've got the choice of the low lane or the high lane, and it's just when do you go? You know, what's the right time to make your move? It's also really difficult to see in front, you know, because you're so close to the truck, I should say, in front, that you don't actually get that much of a perspective of what's going on ahead. So it is a lot more difficult than it maybe looks, but a lot of fun as well.
Certainly looked like it, mate. And of course, all for a great cause tonight as well, for Racing for Luby. And we've actually had a donation partway through the stream as well from the wonderful Jack Dowell Motorsports, who were supporting Finn Robinson and John Bowalder Jr. out there tonight. They donated $70, which obviously converts to £50. So it's
that's fantastic. Yeah, thanks to them and to everyone else as well that's made tonight possible, and for everyone up to now that's given us all the help and support to help raise awareness and some extra funds for Cancer Research UK. There's so many people that have been involved in this. But just want to specifically say thanks to the TVR guys, Brian, Jason and Ivan, for setting this up tonight, and yourself as well. And also Alex for all his support throughout the Vertex as well. It really means a lot to me and my family for everyone that's been involved in donating or giving their support to us. So just want to say thanks on behalf of my family to everyone.
You're very, very welcome, Kenny. Honestly, it's a really, really good thing that you do, mate, and it's great to help along that journey as well. And of course, it's all for a very, very good cause and a very big picture. So, thank you for joining us, Kenny. Well done on your result tonight, mate. Is there anyone else you want to just give a quick thanks to?
I think I've thanked everyone who's been involved. So I'll just give the last word to my sister, who's been an absolute trooper, and we're also proud of what she's fought through. She's getting stronger every day. So. Love you, Luby.
Well, send her our best wishes as well, mate, from everybody here in the community and behind the scenes as well, mate. It's a real shame, but obviously, you know, hats off to her for staying strong and fighting through, and of course to you and your family as well, mate. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to speak to you again very soon, buddy. Thank you for coming on.
Yep. Thanks again, guys. Cheers.
Cheers, Kenny. Well, I was just going to quickly grab Brian Crowles to get a final interview there of Trackvelocity Racing, but I suppose when you can't deal with a 6'9" Belgian, we'll have to try and find the next best thing, and that's all 4'2" of Alex Sedgwick, who joins me in the box. Alex, you you had a busy one, mate. I mean, there was a few moments where you dropped back a little bit and then managed to scream back up to the front. What did you make of that?
I think I overtook about 600 cars in that race, it felt like. But
no trucks?
Trucks, yeah, same thing. They've all got 4 wheels, whatever. It was interesting for sure. Obviously, you know, a race with a lot of our, you know, kind of the regular drivers we know and kind of, I guess, trust racing around, like Mikey and Aaron and the guys from the VSCC. But obviously, a lot of new guys kind of adds another. I guess challenge to it, because you never know what to expect, and unfortunately, obviously, for the most part, you know, it was a pretty good race, and everything was fairly, you know, we had some good long runs, and then just a few little issues, obviously, you know, little things like bumping in the wrong places, people checking up, the usual stuff that you know, unfortunately, obviously ended up with the majority of the field getting caught up in it most of the time. But no, it's a lot of fun, and yeah, I had to get creative a few times to figure out how to go from trapped on the inside to the front, or from the back all the way to the front. But yeah, made it work, and we were in a pretty good position at the end. Just picked up a bit too much damage on the last caution before the Green-white-checkers, and because of that, obviously just didn't have enough straight line speed to do anything. So it was a bit of a parachute in the way of everyone, which is a shame because I think we probably could have made something happen and potentially, obviously, challenged Mikey and Aaron. So, you know, it is what it is, and ultimately, obviously, they're races for fun, but it's always frustrating, you know.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, on the whole, a lot of fun.
Well, that's always the best thing for it, mate. I'm really glad you enjoyed that tonight. It was certainly a lot of fun to watch. You know, going from the back where you dropped onto the apron for a second and then all of a sudden, like 2 laps later, you were back in second place, flying through that inside line. It was just, I couldn't quite believe it because I hadn't even noticed that you'd started going back up yet. And it was just all of a sudden you were there. So mega to watch as always. Is there anyone you want to give a very quick thanks to while you're here?
Yeah, I mean, as ever, you know, yourself for putting the broadcast side of everything together. Obviously, Brian, Jace, Ivan, all of Trackvelocity for putting these standalone events all together, obviously in partnership with us at Vertex. And yeah, obviously, thank you. Welcome to the new guys racing, watching, being a part of it. And yeah, obviously, it's you know, a cool event. It's been a lot of fun, and hopefully, you know, whether you're a viewer, whether you're a competitor for this one, you'll stick around and take part in some of our future events as well. So yeah, just thank you to everyone racing, watching, however you've been a part of it tonight.
Smashing stuff. Great to speak to you as ever, Alex. Thank you very much for jumping in, mate. We'll see you soon.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy. Well, there you go, everybody. That is the end of the evening here on Vertex Esports. It's been a fantastic night of racing. Mikey Doble wins the Racing for Luby 150. Thank you to everybody who's donated. Thank you everybody who's been watching. And of course, thanks to all the guys behind the scenes. Kenny Mitchell, all the guys at Trackvelocity Racing, Vertex Esports as well. I've been Chaz Draycott. This has been the Racing for Luby 150. And we'll see you all again very, very soon. As for now, I'll crank the music up because this song's got one hell of a drop in it. Enjoy it, guys. We'll see you soon.
We're existing.